This way it'll make it flow a little bit better. We did ask that nobody bring signs in just to make it a little bit more courteous. People behind you won't be able to see, so please no signs. And we do ask that you be respectful. This is an opportunity to communicate with your elected member of Congress, and we take it seriously, and we ask that you be respectful of each other. Congressman Carney.
Thanks, Paul. Thank you all for coming out tonight. This is important, and as Paul said, this is our 33rd town hall meeting, so it's nothing new to us, and we do these as a matter of course anyway. Apparently, there's a healthcare issue out there that people want to discuss. I've heard tell in the news about it. But the truth is, we are really at one of those sort of generational issues right now, and what we do with healthcare going forward is going to affect everyone in this room, and we want to be sure we get it right. So, as one of those blue dog Democrats, I was one of those people that told our party leadership that, look, we need to go back and talk to constituents about this, to get their input, to hear from them, and we can have a discussion back and forth. So it was, I think, because of our efforts that we were able to forestall a vote until after this August district work period. By the way, if somebody says this is a recess, it's not a recess. But I think it's important that we have the time to do it right. Once again, this is something, as I said, that is so important that will affect everyone, that getting it right is better than getting it quick. And we want to make sure that we have that opportunity. Now, as I said, I was one of the blue dogs that helped make sure we get the time to come back and have these town hall meetings. But when I'm in Congress, I really brag about the 10th district as actually Norman Rockwell's. I represent Norman Rockwell's America here, and it's not just because we have great cities like Dickson City, but it's because of the people. And it's because the people are courteous, and that people listen and are respectful to each other, and that's part of the whole thing. So, in that spirit, certainly that's how we want to proceed today. So with that, we'll start calling the numbers, and you can come up to the mic, and we'll have a discussion.
Okay, number 54, and on deck is number 61.
How did they know which numbers to call? Did you call
54 and 61.
And then number 75.
Couldn't hear that.
And if you could just also let us know what number you have so I can cross it off.
And just give the number to Graham right here.
I left it 61.
61.
Can you hear that?
I'm a little nervous, so.
No, that's okay.
I'd like to say I believe in health reform, such as tort reform, health for people with chronic illnesses.
It's on now. Okay, speak closer to the mic, maybe.
First, I want to say I believe in health care reform, such as tort reform, help for people with chronic illnesses, people who have lost their jobs. Yet, I believe in helping my fellow Americans, but I object to government intervention. First, let's look at what our government has done for us in the past couple of years. First, in 1965, the government favored the Community Redevelopment Act, which caused our banks to lynch people who could not afford the mortgage. Second, our government in 1999 revoked the law passed by the Roosevelt administration in 1933 that forbid banks, mortgage, and insurance companies from merging. We all know the outcome of this folly, the decline of our standing in the world. Yet, we citizens are not told who was personally responsible for this. There is no accountability. Our government, according to our Constitution, is to protect our country from invasion. Yet, they did nothing when 12 to 20 million illegal aliens entered our country. does our government require its citizens to be searched in government offices and in airports when they can't tell us who's in our country? What would our government do if 20 million illegal aliens pulled up to our ports and got off the ship? We, the people, don't object to helping those in need of health care. We object to government intervention. We want our country back. We don't need more government.
Congressman, good afternoon. My name is Bill Moran. I live in Roaringbrook Township.
Thanks for coming.
I have a couple of questions for you. Number one, why do we need health reform? Number two, why would you support anything that the Obama administration is putting forth? I understand there's something like 50 million uninsured, I think they call them Americans, I don't know what they are. How many illegal immigrants or illegal aliens are involved in this number? Now, the way I look at it is this. Bill Moran's grandparents were legal immigrants. The people that are coming in now, they're aliens, illegal aliens. So, what are you going to do about it?
Okay, let's start at the beginning. Why do we need health care reform? We have, to answer that, the third part of your question there, Mr. Moran, first of all, in the bill, section 242, I believe it is, explicitly prevents illegal immigrants from getting health care. So that's in the bill.
Yeah, but what after you give them amnesty?
So it's enumerated as part of the bill. Well, why do we need health care? I mean, health care reform. That's a fair question. What has happened to the cost of health care and health insurance over the last couple of decades? Has it leveled out? Has it decreased? Absolutely not. It has gone up dramatically. It has gone up dramatically. In fact, last week we were over in Pike County, and we got to visit one of the great little companies we have in the 10th District. It's called Clarion Industries, and they make signs like the exit sign there, except it's not electric. It's one of these things that glows in the dark, so you don't have to use electricity to keep it on. It's really neat. So it's one of those kind of green energy things. And they have a bunch of employees. Their HR person actually showed me their per person cost for health care. From 2000 to 2009, that cost tripled the out-of-pocket. So if that's an unsustainable growth, folks, we can't do that. If in 20 years we don't do something to bend, as the phrase goes, the cost curve the other direction, every cent that the American government takes in and spends in taxes will go toward health care. We will no longer have a Department of Defense, a Department of the Treasury, a Department of Transportation, a Department of Education. We won't have those things because that's the problem. So if you don't fix the cost curve, if we don't get that taken care of, then we will be in such a spot as a country that we will only take care of the medical issues of people, and as the society ages, we will face more and more pressure on the system. That, coupled with a problem that people aren't really talking about now, but it bears mentioning, is that we are now facing it's an epidemic of childhood obesity and juvenile diabetes. And as those young people actually come of age, that will put an even greater strain on the system. So we've got to get a handle on it now, to be quite honest.
That's not the government's
Because the cost of caring for these folks as they age will be tremendous on the system if we don't get it fixed now. Now,
why are they obese to begin with?
McDonald's.
All right, folks, we're not going to entertain questions thrown out from the people. We're going to abide by the rules here. The issue is helping as many people as we possibly can. Now, as far as the public option goes, I think that's what most people are afraid of or concerned with. They either, really vehemently oppose it, or they're stridently in favor of it, and that's fine. What we want to end up with in the end, though, is a system that, in fact, covers pre-existing conditions. I think that's something we want. It's something that covers pre-existing conditions. And those are the kind of things we want to do. One of my best friend's daughter just graduated from college, and she has rheumatoid arthritis. She's bright, talented, very capable young woman. She cannot get health insurance because she has a pre-existing condition, which is truly a problem. And folks, we all have pre-existing conditions, to be quite honest. So at some point, the pre-existing condition issue is going to touch every one of us. So that has to be covered. Now, if we can get pre-existing conditions covered and get transportability of your health care so you can take it with you if you switch jobs, that's fine. If the insurance companies would do it on their own and voluntarily say, okay, we'll do all this, we'll cover pre-existing conditions, we'll allow transportability without a government option, okay. But if they don't do it on their own, then a government option might be necessary if it's true that you want to
Vote for that.
Okay, next question.
We have number 206, number 155, and number 37.
Right behind you there.
37, I got a mark minute.
Good afternoon, Mr. Carney.
Good afternoon. Thank you.
I'm Joe Clifford. I'm from Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Hi, Joe.
Can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Joe Clifford from Scranton, Pennsylvania. I'll try it again.
No, not on.
Joe Clifford from Scranton, Pennsylvania.
No. Check.
From Scranton, Pennsylvania. Someone don't want me to talk.
There you go.
There you go. There you go.
I've been to over 1,000 meetings, city council, school board, PUC, which is also a foreign, and several others. I also lived in a depression. God forbid this ever happens again.
Cannot hear him.
God forbid this depression ever happens again. And if you don't know what it is, take your worst nightmare and multiply it by 1,000,000. In World War II, I served in the reserves of the Korean War, so I've been around the block a little bit. I have some things, I'll say that I might be the only one here with questions that is not about health.
Okay, that's fine. This is not a specifically health plan.
Okay.
Town hall, you can ask anything.
I'm not related to any organization or any club or anything else. I'm just 83 years old, just trying to survive.
Thanks, Joe.
We have cap and trade. Very few people understand cap and trade. Cap and trade is nothing else but a tax on making your utilities, your gas stations, the coal men, and other people tax collectors.
You know that I voted against that, right? You know that I voted against that?
Yes.
You've got Nancy Pelosi, you've got Harry Reid, you've got Mr. Dodd, and all the way through, God, Mr. Gore was elected, who flies jumbo jets to go for lunch. It takes 1,200 gallons to clear the runway. I will get 4 gallons of gas a week. The cap and trade is not good. Now we have coal in all abundance in Pennsylvania. Maybe not in this Lackawanna County, or it's abundant. And these people will be working. Besides these people working, people on the railroad transporting the coal will be working. truck drivers, people manufacturing plants, General Electric. Even though General Electric was condemned by some people, they will still employ people paying taxes. More people working, more taxes are being paid, and less by each individual, and this will help our economy. Our economy. Our economy right now is much in competition with the rest of the world. And that's not going to change because the rest of the world is being educated. So we can't put anything like cap and trade in. I heard. And I have several more things to talk about, but I know you have no people to talk. I'm going to give them all an opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's on.
First, I would assume somebody down in Missouri County, most people know me. I'm Sam Bianco, president of Greater Wilkesboro Labor Council. Don't start saying, oh, what's he doing up here? I live in Battling, Pennsylvania, and I'm a constituent of the congressman. There'll be all aspects of this will be gone over, I'm sure, of different questions. Mine in particular, I'll be talking about jobs, where health care reform is necessary. One of the biggest obstacles in any negotiations is health care. Do we ever see any kind of a strike or any problems whatsoever? It's the health care. Small business cannot afford to hire workers unless we get health reform in. I mean, we can go lost a job. It is very, very important. Without reform coming as a fact of life, there's going to be no ending of this recession that easily. It's going to get difficult the way it is. And we're very fortunate to have a congressman that will be in favor of that legislation when it concerns getting jobs. Thank you.
For the next numbers?
Yeah, number 37, number 156, number 187. Any of the three. And number 30 and number 68 also.
In fact, if your number's called, go ahead and just come up to the podium and get a line and we'll